So, the best bartender should, in theory, be able to do everything that is expected of him at a very high level. What do I mean by this? There are many different types of bartenders. And I think it's cool to embrace your specialty or what makes you unique or what you bring to the team. But if you neglect all the other aspects of bartending that are expected of you or expect other people to fill in the blanks, how can you possibly consider yourself a top level bartender? I want to start with the most important aspect of bartending, which is efficiency. This is being able to get the job done well and in a timely fashion. This sounds obvious, but it's not. This encompasses everything you do behind the bar as well. This does not just apply towards making drinks. It's staying busy. It's finding the time to polish glassware. It's finding the time to stock up on plates, stocking up silverware. It's greeting guests in a timely fashion. It's having an accurate pour count. Basically, you could be terrible at all the other aspects of bartending, but if you're a workhorse, you're gonna be a pleasure to work with. These quick and efficient bartenders often end up gravitating towards the well, as they're often the best suited for cranking out a high volume of drinks in a timely fashion. However, only a small percentage of our tips actually comes from making drinks for the rest of the restaurant. The vast majority of our tips comes from our own guests. And that leads me perfectly into the next aspect of bartending, which is guest interaction. The social input expected by the guests from their bartender can vary greatly from place to place. Some people don't want to be bothered. However, making sure that your guest feels welcome and appreciated, and making sure that they feel like they are getting their money's worth is crucial to the amount of money that you're going to be getting paid out at the end of the night. I've worked with some extremely efficient bartenders, but when it comes to actually interacting with their guests, they're as dull as a doorknob. They can get the job done, but they will rarely earn us a single dollar above the bare minimum. And they are definitely not going to be the reason why anybody is dying to come see us again. Now, don't feel like you have to put on a show for everybody that comes in through the door, but you should be able to read your guest and know what type of experience they're looking for on that particular evening, and then just capitalize on that. At a high-end restaurant like my own, it is even more expected of you. And your personality is something that they look at even during the hiring process. Even if you wouldn't consider yourself a big personality, you can definitely increase the confidence that you have when talking to your guests if you're able to work on this final aspect of bartending, which is going to be knowledge. Know your craft, know your menu, know your cocktails, know your wine, know your allergens, everything you can possibly know. Know how to make most classic cocktails. Know about the spirits that you sell, know what vodkas you carry, what are they distilled out of. Know what your high-end whiskeys are and try to know a fun fact or two about them. Know about the wine that you sell. What wine would you pair with a guest's particular meal? Do you know the preparation and ingredients and the items of your menu? Do you know any of the potential allergens? Questions will pop up. And even though nobody's expecting you to know every single thing there is to know about food and wine and alcohol, you're gonna look pretty stupid if you actually have to go ask somebody else about it every single time your guest asks a question. And in higher end restaurants or fine dining, you certainly are expected to know, and it will most definitely reflect on your tips if you don't. As somebody who deals with food allergens himself, if you can safely maneuver me through your menu, I will throw money at you. I'm obviously going to do my best to maneuver myself through the menu and steer clear of any item that has any red flags for me, but you never know when there's a certain ingredient that's being used in the sauce or in the preparation, or if there's cross-contamination. You get the point. Now, I've worked with some super efficient bartenders who will try to avoid talking to guests at all costs. They post up at a well, they look down, they try to not make eye contact with anybody in the building. It's pathetic and it bugs the hell out of me. Now, I've also worked with super charismatic bartenders who make us so much money, it's stupid. People are throwing money at them, but they can't make a half-decent cocktail to save their lives. Their pour counts are all off, and everybody else in the bar has to work so much harder because of all the things that they're not doing while they're chatting up a guest. I've worked with some super knowledgeable bartenders too who have won mixology contests and have traveled to all sorts of vineyards and distilleries and know all these people, and that's great, but they are so slow to do anything. And they walk around the building like they are the best bartender that has ever graced that building. Like, oh my god, I can't believe you've been to the Brooklotic Distillery in Isla. Now for the love of can you please go polish some dishes? Now, I might live in a dream world, but I believe that every bartender behind that bar should be interchangeable. what ends up happening is they schedule 2 highly efficient bartenders, right? And that's not bad. The place is not going to explode, but there's really not going to be a lot of money going around. Or you can schedule 1 charismatic bartender and 1 efficient bartender. But what happens when Miss Charisma over here has a sore throat and has to work the well that day? Well, the well's going to go up in flames and the guests are in for one underwhelming experience that evening. If you can master all these aspects of bartending, you'll be able to fit into any bar in the world and make that bar profitable. Any bar would be lucky to have you. You'll also be able to recognize and fill in the holes in the lineup wherever they may be on a given night. If I have great, well bartenders, I'll take care of the people and I'll make sure that we make the most amount of money possible. If my talkers are working, I'll make sure that I hop on the well and that I'm cranking out those drinks at a high volume. And all this while knowing that if anybody has any questions on the food or on any drink, that they are able to come to me and ask. If you think there's any aspect that I missed, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. I'll try to address it in another video or something. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions on anything. Feel free to DM me. I hope this helps. My name is Ryan, and I'll see you next time.